Okay, well, we're going to go.
Let's do it.
This is so exciting. On this episode of the Real Santa Fe podcast, I get to talk to a great friend of mine and someone I get to work with. And the name of the podcast is going to be from listen to me, I can't even speak, from Fajitas to Foundations. So I know you're wondering what that's all about. Our guest today is Andrea Caldera. And Andrea is a true Santa Fean. She is in the family, part of the beloved El Molero, right? El Molero
yeah.
Fajita Cart family. And if you've ever been to Santa Fe and you have any sense at all, you've eaten fajitas on the plaza. So, welcome.
Thank you, Bunny. It's nice to be here.
I'm so glad you're here. We kept thinking about people that we wanted to interview, and I said, who has the real Santa Fe story? And we both agreed that was you. So
thank you.
Tell people how you got to Santa Fe. Let's just talk about from the beginning.
Okay, so from the beginning, my mom's side of the family is from Cork, Ireland, and they second generation landed in Boston, and then her mom was a gypsy, so she wound up in New Mexico. And my dad is originally from Torreon, Coahuila, Mexico, and that is south central Mexico. And he came over at 20 in the engine of a truck, looking for a better life.
Wait, in the engine of a truck?
The engine of a truck across the desert.
Up in the...
They had an area where they would put folks, and he came across that way.
What year do you think that was?
Oh my goodness, he was only 20, so 70s.
So he was born in the 50s?
Yeah, he was born in 52.
Wow.
Yeah. And so he came over and then wound up on a train to Los Lunas, where he kind of found his way. And somebody dropped him off in Santa Fe, and he just got a dishwasher job at the Pink Adobe, and then made his way up to head chef, and then met my mom along the way.
Wait. So he was a dishwasher at Pink Adobe, at Rosalie Murphy's Pink Adobe.
Yeah, Rosalie.
Wow, I need him. He needs to be on the podcast too.
Yeah.
So he worked at Pink Adobe and became the head chef.
He, with time, became the head chef there, and then he met my mom, and they.
How did they meet?
He used to bring leftovers for his brother, and she would steal the leftovers, she said.
Oh.
Yeah, and then eventually they just crossed paths.
Wow.
Yeah, and so they've been together for 45 years.
Wow.
So it's been a long time, but they opened Andrea's on Canyon Road when she was 18. And then after that, they moved back to Mexico, and then decided that they wanted to come back. And in 1990, they started in Molero.
And what year were you born?
1992.
So they came back and they had started the cart, and you were an infant.
I was born and raised on the plaza.
Wow.
Yeah. So I grew up downtown. It is my second home.
Yeah.
And it has been a blast. And so it's nice getting to be there and getting the boys to grow up there and having the third generation, really.
Because you have babies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my two babies.
So what's your absolute first memory on the plaza?
Well, I didn't speak English until I was in 6th grade.
Okay.
And so a lot of it was just learning how to speak English. And when my mom had bought me this little cash register, and I would mark it in and be like, okay, sour cream? Okay. I only knew lettuce, salsa, sour cream in English. And so
those were your first English words? Lettuce, salsa,
sour cream. And so then I would type it into my cash register, the little fake one that we'd get at the store at Toys R Us. And then I'd send the order over to my dad, and he would. And I was about 3 years old when I was doing that. So
that is so cool.
Yeah, so it was a long time.
Wow.
On the plaza. And yeah, I used to take my pygmy goats down there because I had taught them how to walk on a leash. And so, yeah, I had my pygmy.
We're learning stuff we've never, ever known about.
I know. And also, people see me now, they're like, where are your goats? And I'm like, well, they're a little gone now.
Wow.
But yeah, it was fun.
So you had pygmy goats that you took on a leash.
Yeah.
And you have a sister, right?
I do, little sister.
So both of you grew up on the plaza.
So we each had a pygmy goat. Yeah. Pumpkin and Spook.
That's so funny. That's so funny. So you're like the darling of everybody on the plaza, right?
I mean,
You knew all those people.
I know everybody down there, and they've all seen me grow up, and I've gotten to see them grow up, and so we're like a huge family downtown. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So you still work with them sometimes, right?
I do, yes. So I still do operations for them and help with licensing. So, and like today, I helped load for my dad because he's been in a lot of pain. So I go down there at about 2:30 and I load for them and load up the push cart. And
so tell people how that works. The push cart lives at your parents' house.
it does, yes. It lives at our house, and we truck it in every day and truck it out every day. And it is heavy and it is not easy, but
And you cook everything there?
everything's fresh every day.
Wow.
So everything is always done fresh nightly and then prepped the day of for,
Wow.
yeah.
So that's a job.
Oh my goodness, yeah. It's the part that nobody sees is how much work it takes.
How many fajitas do you think you sold in Santa Fe?
Oh my goodness. A lot. It's pretty wild when I start to think about it because we've been out there for 35 years now, 34 with COVID, but we don't count that. And
No.
and so, yeah, it's been great.
So how do you think it's different now than it was when you were there with the goats?
I think a lot of things are different now. I think that it's been hard because even growing up, I've gotten to see the changes on the plaza, and like Roque retiring felt like it was the end of an era, and that was hard to see.
I don't know what that means.
Roque on the opposite corner, Carnitas, he was out there for like 40 years.
Oh, wow.
And he retired a couple of years ago, and that was really hard.
And was that over on across from La Fonda side?
He was across from Dry Goods.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so on that side. But prior to that, we were in front of the museum,
Mm-hmm.
and then he was on the opposite side. So where the native jeweler set up was his area.
Uh-huh.
And then they moved us all to the plaza with time.
Oh.
Yeah, so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but just all the changes, all the people that have unfortunately passed away, and all the changing people that have come in, and just everything that's goes with life.
Well, I think so. We should never assume that everybody who's listening to this podcast even knows what the plaza is.
Yes.
I mean, the plaza is the center of town, and I don't know that there's a date for how long the plaza has existed. It's just that since the 1600s.
Yeah.
It's been the center of Santa Fe, and now it is just right at a block square, right? And it's a grassy area with trees where everybody hangs out, and I don't know, I just never want to assume that people who have never been to Santa Fe or who are listening this in Ireland, maybe in Cork, Ireland, do you have cousins there?
Probably.
Have any idea what we're talking about, but what we're talking, Andrea was like in the center of everything that was happening in Santa Fe.
Yeah, it's been, and I mean, the plaza, I would say, is an area that has really never changed, which is probably one of the most beautiful parts of it, is that Santa Fe has done a really good job at maintaining its historic presence.
There's that little tiny obelisk issue, but we can't talk about that on the podcast right now. No, my husband grew up here. My husband Toby grew up here, and he said when they were kids, they just went and, they would ride the bus. It wasn't like a city bus, it was more like a school bus, but they would ride the bus downtown and hang out, from the time he was in the 4th grade. Did you do that when you were in high school?
I tried. My mom did not really let me, but I would try to take the bus to go swimming, and that was the excitement, but that was also with a caretaker. She was not very lenient with us going anywhere.
She's very old-fashioned.
She is very old-fashioned.
Yeah, that's so cool. Well, you grew up in Santa Fe.
I did, yeah.
You went to high school here.
I did. I went to I grew up in Santa Fe part-time in my early childhood, and then part-time in Mexico, and then moved back to Santa Fe full-time around 7th grade. And so I went to middle school here, high school here, and then went to UNM for school. So I've been in New Mexico for a long time.
Wow. And what is, if you were thinking of, talk about being in a family in Santa Fe, because, we have a lot of people who talk about moving their families here, and then they're like, well, is this even a great place to raise a kid? What do you think? You're raising your kids here, right?
Yeah. I think my family is a very unique and also very New Mexican and Santa Fe and cultural, in the sense that we are very connected and we are very close. And so I would say it's very generational in Santa Fe. So if you want a family unit, this is the place to be. Right. Because everybody here, it's a package deal, let's be real. Yeah. If you're dating the mom, you're dating the mom if you're dating the son or the daughter. So right.
It's the same way with you, anybody who dated you.
Oh yeah, it's a package deal for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. That's so cool that your dad worked at the Pink Adobe.
Yeah, for years.
Wow. Wow. Don't tell him, but I make gypsy stew all the time.
Oh.
Do you have that at your house?
I have not had that.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. He only really cooks for the fajita stand. Yeah, I wish he'd cook for us more.
Wow.
My mom's always been kind of the cook.
Those are great fajitas, by the way. Do you eat them? Do you love them?
Oh, yeah. I just had one for lunch.
Well, so now you're doing something different.
I am. I'm in real estate now, and it has been such a phenomenal change for me. It's been really everything I wanted in a career and more. So I couldn't be happier.
And she's not saying that just because she's on my team. I'm telling you.
No. No, it's been, I love working with people. And I would say that that's probably been my favorite part of this job, is the people that I get to work with. And everybody has a different path in life, and it's fun getting to hear about it and learn from it. And that's been really the best part.
I think that's the coolest thing about real estate is, it's a nice career in that you can be flexible. And you have a lot of time because you have babies.
Yeah.
How old are your kids?
6 months old and 2.5. So I've got little babies.
She's a full-time realtor, and she loads the fajita cart, and then she sells houses on the side.
Yeah. I've got my kids there watching while I'm loading, and Jagger actually helped today. So I was like, okay,
what?
Good. Yeah, it was really cute.
Does he run the cash register yet?
Oh, no, but he's going to soon if he doesn't drink all the lemonade first,
Wow. You have homemade lemonade?
We do.
Fresh squeezed
limeade. So, yeah.
I don't know this.
You need to come have one.
It's so good. I had to get some the other day, and it was the last of the bucket.
Oh, you're...
I was like, I'll take it.
Yeah, we have Johanna in the background talking about how she has to get...
I'm going to cut that.
Yeah, don't cut that out. Don't cut that out. Well, so that's another interesting thing about Santa Fe. We can talk about the old stuff, but talk about why it's so cool for new people who move here. Because I think there's this idea that, Santa Fe is this old city and everybody knows everybody. But what do you find about showing people? Do you have clients who are moving here and they don't have any connections at all?
Oh, yeah. All of my clients have been from out of state, and they're kind of getting their bearings in Santa Fe. And the one thing I've come to learn from all of them is that they have fallen in love with the scenery here. And really, that's one of the most beautiful parts of Santa Fe is that you have it all. You have the 4 seasons.
Right.
And if you are somebody who likes to be outdoors, then we are close to mountains and lakes, and we're not far from a lot of awesome hot springs. And so if you're really outdoorsy, this is the place to be. But also, if you're somebody that enjoys the peace and quiet, you're not so close to other people if you don't want to be. So you really have the tranquil life if that's what you enjoy.
And you know what I've found is that people who come here are, they kind of make their own way. Like they find their own circle of friends, and they find their own set of activities, because unlike some other cities, this is a place where you can sort of show up and be whoever you want to be.
Yeah.
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 I think that's really attractive to the people I work with. I know that I have to ask you. I mean, I just think it's always important for us to ask, like, what's your favorite unexpected or secret thing about Santa Fe that people might not know otherwise? Other than the fajita cart, that if you're walking by and missing it, don't do that.
The big secret, let's see. And are you speaking in regard to restaurants? Just
you get to choose. Tell people something they may not know about that.
Well, if you're someone who likes to be outdoors, there are hikes that you will find only on Google Maps. And so you've got to do your research.
Wow.
And
so you just search hidden hikes in Santa Fe? Or?
No, you just start playing with Google Maps and you'd be surprised what you've come across.
Wow.
So it's almost like a hidden gem.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So if you head up to Hyde Park area, I'll give you a little hint. Google Maps.
Wow. Now I have to actually go hiking?
I know.
And what about your favorite? If somebody was here only for a day?
Mm-hmm. For
just to visit. If somebody was here only for a day just to visit, what would you suggest they do that somebody else might not have thought of? Other than secret hikes.
Well, other than the obvious of making sure that you go downtown and you walk the plaza and you check out the churches, and the Loretto Chapel, I think, is probably one of the most incredible.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that the St. Francis Cathedral is also really important.
Okay, so can we just talk about that for a minute?
Yeah.
I went in there I actually went for a memorial service recently, and I was looking at it and I was like, this was built in the 1800s.
Yeah.
Out here in the middle of nowhere. Mm-hmm. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And the Loretto Chapel is the same.
Yeah, the miraculous staircase is incredible.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, those are absolute must-sees.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, I really think it's important that you try to do all you can as far as walking around the town, because I don't think that people that have like a day trip get to experience it all. It's a small town, but it's not small enough that you do it in one day.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Like, we offer a lot more than just a one-day trip.
I think I should change that question to, if you're here for a weekend, what are the first few things you should do? Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that there's so much to do in Santa Fe. We offer a lot. And so I think checking out our restaurants and the rail yard and the plaza and Ojo, the newest.
Oh, yeah.
So making sure that you hit the hot springs and the mountains.
So if you were not going to eat at the Fajita Cart, where would you go?
If I were to not eat at the Fajita, this is a hard one because I'm all over the place.
How do you pick just one? It's so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do you pick just one?
I really like places where it's locally owned and the staff have been working and they're taken care of. So I really like places like Flying Tortilla, which is on this side of town.
Right.
And they have really good chili and it's always fun to go and the boys love it. And it's just a good family atmosphere. So that's
it's a great place
for
breakfast.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
Pantry's also another place. Pantry Dos in this area is also another place I would
talked about that at the last
one.
one.
See?
Yeah. Yeah. They're going to have to start feeding us there because we talk about them so much.
I agree.
That's so cool. So if somebody wanted to find you because you sell houses, where might they find you?
You can find me on Bunny Terry's site.
Wow. That was a total setup, wasn't it? Yeah.
Or on
Instagram.
It's
move me to Santa Fe, right?
Move me to SantaFe.com.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Andrea Caldera. And
the cart has its own Instagram too.
Correct. And I've been trying to get into the marketing for the fajita stand, but I am working on my marketing skills, to say the least.
Cool. Well, I'm so glad you came on the podcast so we could talk. I learned a lot of things I never knew. It's so cool.
Fun.
Thanks.
Thank you, Bunny.